What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today in this video we're going to take a quick look at Strider knives model Stub XL. Now I've laid out a few other Strider knives here on the table to show you guys so you can get a frame of reference in terms of the sizing. So you can see it's basically the same length as an SNG, and it's a little bit longer than a PT, and it's much shorter than a SMF. So I'm sure you're familiar with most of these knives here if you're a Strider fan. So you can see the PT is a very tiny little knife. Still gives you a good grip. You can see the SNG gives you a nice full-size grip, and that grip is going to be about the same length as the Stub XL, but the difference is obviously the width, okay, and the weight. And then you can see compared to a SMF, it is much shorter, but again it's much fatter, and it still weighs more due to its beefy size. So these are the knives we're actually going to be looking at here today. So first let's go over the specs. The overall length is going to be 7 3/4 of an inch long. The blade length is going to be 3.25 inches long, and the blade thickness is going to be 0.19 inches thick. It's pretty darn thick. And the handle length is 4.5 inches. The handle thickness is 0.62 inches, and the weight is 6.7 ounces. It's pretty heavy, pretty solid knife. So first let's talk about this one. Okay, let's set this one aside. This one has the orange peel texture on the handle scales. There's a few scratches here. It's been carried. You can see the finish is slightly wore off right about here on the edges because it's been just kind of rubbing around on stuff like that. A few little nicks on the pocket clip. You know, that's pretty much how it's going to look if you're going to carry it. It's going to get a little scuffed up here and there, but no worries. So again, this is the orange peel texture. The Mick's famous, you know, colored anodized. It's like blue and purple. It's gorgeous. And as you get your fingerprint oils on there, well, my hands aren't that oily right now, but if they were, sorry, yeah, I'm kind of lacking oil on my skin right now. But if you did have oily hands and you touched it, it would leave a kind of yellowish mark. You can see a little bit there. See, it's getting a little yellow. So that's what happens, and then you just wipe it off, and then it comes back to blue and purple again. That yellow will go away. So that's pretty cool how it actually kind of just changes colors. But this is probably how you've seen the Stub come, either like this or in a stonewash finish. This is the more typical color scheme that you see the knife come in. So it has the Mick Strider custom logo here, the orange peel texture with the anodized aluminum, with the stainless, or the all the titanium hardware. It uses 3 standoffs for the construction. There's no backspacers here. They are freaking massive, beefy, chunky, heavy duty. Torques, nothing proprietary. That's cool if you need to take it apart. Again, 2 standard hex keys to adjust the pivot or take it apart if you need be. No proprietary nonsense here. Straightforward, easy to take apart and assemble and put back together if you need to do so. I really like how they've milled these lines in here. They look pretty awesome. And then they've used the last one as a lanyard loop, and it just continues through with this just effect. It just looks rad. That's just what I think about awesome and or rad. That's what this knife looks like. So it has like really effective jimping here, and then it uses the dragon. They call it the dragon spine. I believe that's what they call it, where it's almost like jimping that just continues across the top of the entire blade there. So this is the Nightmare you know, grind by Mick. This is a stone washed on the flats. And we have this like really gnarly grind at the top. And then the tanto point with the recurve. And then the recurve is also sharpened as well. So you can see right there, it's freaking gnarly. Just a wicked ass blade. It's signed M, it's hand signed M. Strider right there on the choil. The lockup, really good, solid. I mean, feels like a fixed blade. These, like a Jibble or an XL, these are so freaking solid. They just feel like fixed blades. The lock bar just falls off the blade. There's zero lock stick, and it's just, the detent is really nice. Once you get past it, it just flies out. It's straight like glass. It's like glass on wax. I mean, that is crazy smooth. If you feel this how smooth this is, I've never felt a blade that feels that smooth. It doesn't even feel like steel. It feels like crazy smooth. It's ridiculous. I mean, these Mick Strider Customs are freaking epic. They cost a lot, but they're freaking badass. There's a lot of skill and time and perfection in his product, okay? The dude is legit, all right? So we're gonna take a look at another one. This one here is a all blacked out. I believe it's DLC coated. It's got a Tony Marfione hand ground blade on this one. It actually has the M. Strider on the choil, but it's just all blacked out. It doesn't have the Mick Strider logo on the pocket clip. This knife was assembled and tuned by Mick, but it was hand ground by Tony. So it's the same exact knife. It's just, you know, different look, different, it actually has a different blade grind. The crazy early lockup, this one's like brand new. The lock bar just falls off of the blade like nothing. Zero lock stick. This one is, I mean, it's more of like a hydraulic feeling. I don't know. It just feels different. It's crazy smooth, but that one feels like glass on wax. This one feels like more like a Sebenza. How it has like this constant like hydraulic pressure. It's very consistent. It's still crazy smooth. I mean, I think it has to do with the fact that it's black DLC coated, so maybe you don't have, you know, metal on metal friction like you do on this one because there's no paint here. So there's some coating or paint or whatever this, I don't know if it's DLC coated, I believe it is, or whatever, but that is going to affect the way the operation of this feels and how the lock bar just falls off the, you know, with zero lock stick. I mean, this one has no lock stick, but I don't know, there's just something about how this one comes off. It's just most effortlessly. So either way, they're both flawless. I don't see any problem with them. Solid lockup, great pocket clip, perfect blade centering on both. Zero complaints, you know, just fabulous. So, oh yeah, we want to talk about the ergonomics and the grip, because if you're not familiar with a stub and you're considering buying one, you know, if you felt a Jibble, it feels a lot. It's basically the Jibble size, but you know, the Jibble is a longer handle, and you know, the really rounded like deep belly blade, where these are like Tantos. So this has actually more of like a chunked out like SMF or SNG. I guess you could see where the design came from, like with this angle here. It's just been reduced down for carrying purposes. So that's the way I see it. It's like, I see it, you know, as a modification of an SMF or SNG, but just with, you know, beefier construction and just a much fatter, chunkier blade. So you can see how it fits in the hand. I have large size hands. In the reverse grip, you got 2 fingers in the front choil. The last 2 fingers on the straight part, the thumb falls right there. Perfect. Okay, turn it around right here. In the front choil, got the jimping, 2 fingers there, 1 finger back there. Perfect, super comfortable. Or you can come back here with the 2 fingers in the choil and the 2 fingers back here. Got the jimping, again, perfect, comfortable. I mean, just epic grip, like all Strider knives. I freaking love them. Overall, just no complaints. Nothing but great things to say about these. I'm just a Strider fan through and through. Hey, thanks for watching. Peace out.